to my channel. If you are new here, I am so happy you're here and welcome. It is Friday and it is also a very exciting day because today is the day that I get my first dose of the COVID vaccine. So I am getting mine through my school. As you know, if you're here, I'm a nursing student, and it happened really fast that I found out that I was able to get one. Basically Monday, I hadn't heard anything. Tuesday, I got an email saying that my school is providing them, that we could sign up for a time slot, and here I am. Friday morning, I'll be getting mine. So I'm so excited, and I feel really grateful to be one of the first people to get it. I'm a nursing student. I am going to be interfacing with vulnerable populations, and it's just safer for all of us if we have the vaccine. So I'm really grateful for it. I am just so excited and hopeful for the rest of the country to be vaccinated. I think the rollout came out really slow. And for me personally, I was very disappointed with how this all got started, and just felt like we'd be farther along by now, but it's a very complicated situation, and I'm hopeful that now we're starting to get the hang of it and that the rollout will be faster and everyone can get their vaccines, and then we can go back to normal life. So I know everyone is really curious about the vaccine. People are waiting by to see what happens. People, it's a new thing. It's strange. People want to know, what's going on. There's a few things I want to say, like just, you've heard this before, but just things I think are important. This vaccine is extremely safe, and it's even more effective. Even though it feels rushed, they did full trials of this vaccination, and it's extremely effective. And although there are side effects, and to be honest, you're gonna get that with a lot of vaccinations. I just got my third round of my Hep B vaccination on Monday, and I'm still sore from it. And so, but I wouldn't not get it. It's something that's very preventable. Like I would not get that vaccine because I have a sore arm. And for example, when I was like 11, 12, 13, I had the Gardasil shot that comes in 2 rounds, maybe 3. I think 3. One of the rounds I got a fever. It lasted overnight, but I would take that fever and kind of some chills and body aches over cervical cancer. So just to put it into perspective that, yeah, your arm might be sore, you might get a fever, you might be feeling under the weather, but I can tell you from not only personal experience, but from a clinical perspective, you absolutely want the side effects of the COVID vaccine over COVID. And you just have no idea what the long-term effects of COVID are gonna be. I'd be lying if I said I'm not kind of nervous to see if something crops up. I think I'm young and healthy, so potentially nothing, but I've seen what COVID can do to someone personally, and it's terrifying. All it takes is for you to look at the news to know that you do not want this virus. So that's all I'll say about it. I will share my personal story. I will be open and transparent about my experience, but please keep in mind it's my experience and my experience alone. Just because I feel great doesn't mean you'll feel great. Just because I get a fever or I feel sick this weekend doesn't mean that you're gonna get a fever or feel sick. I really encourage you, if you are hesitant about the vaccine, I really understand that. Like, I absolutely can see where you're coming from, and it is kind of scary. It is scary, and you have to put a lot of trust in people, but these people are scientists. They care about ending this pandemic. So I really encourage you, if you're unsure, if you're confused, if you have questions, there are some fantastic resources online that you can look up, side effects. You can look up where you fall in terms of the vaccine rollout. You can, they can answer all those questions that you have about the vaccine. And if you go through all that and you decide not to get it, I'm really sad to hear that, but that's all I'll say about it, is just do your research. Don't take your friends' anecdotal experiences or some distant person that you heard had a horrible experience as fact. it may be true that that was their experience, but that doesn't mean it's most people's experience, if that makes sense. Keep in mind that we need 70% of people to have received the vaccine in order to reach herd immunity, and that means life goes back to normal, whatever that looks like at the end of this. But if you want to go on your vacations and see your friends and go back to restaurants without wearing a mask and all that good stuff, the fastest way to get there with the least amount of lives spared is this vaccine. So this is a very exciting day for me. I'm getting that early this morning. I will check in with you after that's done. And then I have a lot of schoolwork to do, because I'm gonna be honest, we're off to a slow start this week. I just haven't been there mentally. So I will debrief with you guys a little later about peds, OB, med surge. We're doing it. We're really in this. We're gonna be a nurse.
Oh, so what was the vaccination you had?
It was Hep B on Monday. It was my 3rd round of that.
Yeah. I think we are saying we probably won't be should get the vaccine today.
I shouldn't.
We need about 14 days. Let me just double check.
Well, in today's disappointing news, I got there and I filled out the papers and I was ready to get it, and one of the questions on the form is, have you had another vaccination in the last 14 days? And I did receive my 3rd round of my Hep B on Monday, which makes me ineligible to get the COVID vaccine today. To say I'm bummed would be an understatement. However, I know how lucky I am to even know that I'm on the schedule to be getting this vaccine. So all you can do is just keep on keeping on, you know? Okay, I'm back. I don't want to come across like I'm throwing a fit or like a tantrum because I couldn't get it today. And trust me that I know how lucky I am to even be on the list. It's gonna be a maximum a month until I can get it, for real this time. And I promise to keep you updated then, just like I talked about this morning. But I think where the emotion comes from is it's just really been a year of like disappointment and worry and anger and frustration and like all that, and for a lot of people, I feel. So it's hard when that just feels like it just keeps piling on and on and on. For some reason, it just like hit me today when they told me no. I was just like, it just was like another thing, you know? Like I said this morning, it's so funny because I'm not even really worried about me getting it. Like, I'm more concerned with other people having it. You know, I just want as many people as possible to have it. I'm not so concerned about myself personally. But there was something about like looking forward to it and being so excited and like finding like the smallest bit of relief in getting the vaccine, and then having that taken away from you like kind of abruptly is just where I'm coming from. So I wanted to update everyone. I'm getting the vaccine. I promise I'll let you know how it goes if you're curious. And you know, the days and life moves on. So I'll be very well vaccinated. I got Hep B done. I'll have COVID done in a couple weeks. Now I really need to focus on my schoolwork and just, you know, keep on keeping on living life as I have been. And, you know, not that the vaccine would change much for me anyway, but that's my day. We're here to be real and raw, and this is where I'm at. So anyway, moving on to school. I have a couple assignments due on Sunday. So like at the end of every week, I have some like clinical assignments and just case study stuff for each of my classes. I want to try to get that done today. Well, at least as much as possible, just to kind of leave my weekend open to, you know, do some reading, actually have a weekend. We're kind of in the process of finishing our house, so I know that we're gonna be moving soon. I have my iCal, which I've talked about before, how much I love like having everything on my computer, and I really feel like that's like my main source for all my to-dos each day. But I also have this planner that I really like. At the start of each week, I just go through, write my assignments, write my priorities for that week. I'll show you. Every month they have like a sheet for goals. There is a section for personal goals, health goals, and work goals. As you can see, I did not fill that out for January. I probably will though, because I wrote down my yearly goals in my other little notebook. This is just a journal that I keep for while I'm in nursing school. It has a little bit of everything. It's not really just for nursing, but I felt like I really want to have my thoughts captured in a journal, and I wrote down some 2021 goals in here, and I feel like monthly goals that help me reach those goals will be nice to keep track of in this planner. And then each week before the week starts, you have the to do, to call, to email, to buy. Oof. Should not have anything in that section right now. Don't forget and etc. section, which I like because I love having just like a little miscellaneous box to put things in. And then each week has the days of the week in these nice big columns, so I can write my notes in there. And I just feel like it's a good way to plan out my week, and then I leave this page open on my desk so I can glance and see like what's coming up, what to do, when I have class, if I have an appointment or something, I write that time in and all that. So today, because our clinical is kind of cut short, I have a like virtual clinical assignment that will make up the other hours that we didn't spend in lab, and that includes a vSim. And for the love of God, I hope if you are in nursing school, you have as few vSims as humanly possible. But I'll show you what we do for that. So we go to the book, and this, I have no idea if other people use this type of program, if this is how you do virtual clinicals. I think I've seen one other person show these types of vSims, so I feel like maybe people have like versions of this. So, but this is an example of something that, if you're asking like, what is online clinical? Like, what does it even look like to go to nursing school online? Here you go. Get ready to be amazed. So all of our books are online, and we have, each chapter. But the nice thing actually about having online books is there's so many resources that you have. Like, for example, before we get into the vSim, we have something called PrepU, which are just like practice quizzes. I'll just show you what they look like. So I chose chapter 1. You can choose how many questions you have, so 5, 10, 20. And then if you start the quiz, it gives you questions. Let's see. So physiological needs for Maslow. I'm just going to guess on these so you can see okay. So I probably did not get a good score on that, but it'll just show you. Well, okay, I got 1 out of 5 questions right. And it gives you like a mastery level. And that basically just shows you like how well you're doing on this chapter, if you've mastered the material. And then this is what I think is the most helpful. If you have something like this, we have the question, then we have what we put, and then the correct answer. This is the valuable piece, the explanation. So this is one of my favorite ways to prepare for tests, because this explanation, they just go over a quick overview of what you actually need to know. So I got this one wrong. I said self-esteem and self-respect. The answer is physiological needs. So by reading this explanation, a rationale, I actually know why this is the right answer, which I think helps you learn better when it comes to studying for the test. Like, not that just that this is the right answer, but why it's the right answer. And for me, that really helps like solidify information. So anyway, that's a little quiz section. I'm sorry if you don't find this really useful, because I know that, it doesn't apply to everyone, but this is online nursing school. So if you are curious, vSim time. So we have to do this like class code thing. I don't know, get into the program and everything, and I couldn't find it, but I found it. Here we are, back at the vSim. This is the one that's due Sunday. We have our patient, Josephine Morrow. She does not look very happy. And so I am going to go see the patient. We have our patient chart. So as you can see, the patient information, the patient log, diagnostics, observations, medication chart, radiology, orders, and intake and output. After I look at her chart, I go in to see the patient. So you're going to do things like introduce yourself, you're going to wash your hands, if you need to put on gloves. Then you have communication. So you can educate the patients, ask them questions, do any kind of assessment that you need to do. Here's some interventions. So comfort measures, you can give water, you can put them on oxygen, irrigate their wounds, you can administer medications and manage their IV access and do, a few tests the patient. So I'll just show you.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. I'll be your primary nurse today.
Hi, Gabrielle. Nice to meet you.
Please state your name and date of birth.
My name is Josephine Morrow. I was born on July 30th, 1940.
Everything matches. I'll wash my hands.
This is an example of the concept map I was talking about before. This one is a pathophysiology one. It's for DVT, and it just has things like risk factors, any medications you would take, abnormal labs, and like nursing considerations. And then I have one here for a medication. So this is aspirin, what the classification is, any abnormal assessments, abnormal labs, nursing safety, side effects and adverse effects. The difference between these two are, at least how they explain it to us in my program, is adverse effects would be like the very severe side effects, like the life-threatening things, or something that's really, really bad, and side effects are things that are just somewhat inconvenient and wouldn't keep you from taking the medication, but just maybe aren't very comfortable or something like that. This is something we have to do after every vSim, plus some reflection questions, and basically that's how they round out these labs, and it usually has something to do with what the patient was dealing with in the vSim. So now that I've gotten some distance from not getting my vaccine today and just really gotten a chance to not be reactive to the situation, I was just thinking about, do I want to post my reaction? I don't want to come across as being ungrateful, and it's hard to put yourself out there, and in a way I don't want this space, on the internet to be even slightly inauthentic, because I don't want to paint this picture for anyone who decides to come hang out with me that my life is in any way perfect or manufactured, because I know that I feel a lot of pressure sometimes, from the people that I follow and that I watch, to have this life that is kind of put together. So obviously I left that reaction in, and I just want to say, if you're struggling with the pandemic or feeling really stressed or down, that you're not alone, and that if you find yourself kind of getting more upset over the little things, or I don't know, that your day kind of goes up and down, I think that's completely normal, and that we should be okay with not being okay all the time. But just know that you are not alone. Time is really tough. Your feelings are valid. Even though those tough moments happen, we will get through this, and try to embrace those good moments just as much, because I think it's really important also to find the little moments of happiness and joy and excitement during the day, even if those are interjected with moments of sadness or fear or frustration or whatever it might be. So typically we vlog on Fridays, so I feel like you guys always catch me not being plant-based, or doing my little 90-10, but the 10 part. I said in my last video that I'm getting ready for my wedding, and I still am, but that doesn't mean I can't have pizza sometimes. So we're doing a little pizza, wine, and the new Night Stalker docuseries. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because I put up new videos every Monday. I'll see you next week. Bye.